Thank you. I did nothing. With regrets, not my regrets, I'm delighted to be here. I'm Norm Wilner. I'm the acting lead programmer for Canada and Industry Selects, and one of the first people who saw this. Please, but I'm not important. Please welcome back Sophie Dupuis.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know we're not alone. Who else do we have?
Yes. We're gonna start with, we're gonna start with Jean Marchand. We're gonna have Tommy Joubert. Hey. Alice Moreau. Yay! Vlad Alexis. Félix Maritot. Yes. And Théodore Pellerin. And Etienne Ancet, the producer, is he coming? If you want to come, you can come.
Or just shout and let us know where you are. Bienvenue tout le monde, and that is all the French I know, which is why we have an interpreter. Please sit down.
Yeah,
sit down.
thank you.
I'm so glad we got to do this here. This is the only time I will talk about myself. This is my first time doing a Q&A at Roy Thompson Hall. I cannot see above that level, so I apologize already. If people have questions, wave. But it is the perfect place to put this film. You need to be overwhelmed by it. The emotions, the music, the choreography, and the tiniest gesture means so much in this film, visually. And you made a musical without making a musical, which is unlike anything you've done before. No, yeah. So let's start there. How did this come about, and how did you bring everyone on board?
Yes, so I got interested in drag and drag culture with RuPaul's Drag Race, as everybody, and I got to learn how drag artists are so, they have to do everything. They're good at everything. They have to make up and do their hair and build a character, entertain a crowd, be funny, dance. They can do everything, and they can use their platform to talk about their community. And I was very admirative of that form of art, and I thought it was very important. It's very important to have drag around. And when we shot that, we didn't know that we will be releasing it in this context. So I think that now it's way more important. We need drag to deconstruct codes and norms and heteronormativity and binarity, oui. So I was getting more and more interested in that culture and that form of art, and I was very interested too in toxic relationships.
No!
I wanted to talk about the mechanisms behind it and how you can stay in that kind of relationship without understand that you're being mistreated. And so yeah, I was having those two interests that I just put together, and I think it was a good match because the character have to free himself from those relationships when you're getting free of that kind of relationship, sometimes you're like, you don't have anything left and you have to reconnect with yourself and try to get to know yourself back. And I think it was interesting to that a drag queen was experiencing this, because when you're a drag, I think you get to know yourself through your drag persona. So it was interesting to put that together.
Well, there's this, I mean, the terminology that became very, thanks to RuPaul, became associated with drag as fierce, right? Like ferocity. And to see someone who is fierce on stage but folds in person and is complicit in his own gaslighting up until a point and then starts to push back and is fierce again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect narrative loop, but also you have the relationship playing out physically between them on stage as they dance their anger at each other, which is, it's so great. I almost never see the use of physical musical numbers without singing as they are. I mean, this is existing music, so you're I want to know about the collaborative process and getting everyone to do it, and also choosing the songs to suit the moment and how everyone created this together, because this is absolutely not just your work. Everybody jumped in.
It was a teamwork. I think we have our choreographer here, Gérard Reyes. Here, there. So Gérard was there from the beginning because he met all of them, and we got like dancing classes to get
standing in heels. Like I could not do that before. Still can't.
Me neither.
Me neither. But to find their femininity, maybe they can talk about it better than me. But I don't know if you want to talk about it. But
I'd love to talk about it. Is it? Yeah.
Stacy, that work.
Well, sorry. What was the question again?
Comment qu'on a fait pour tout?
Oh, the collaborative process. Well, it really started with the physical work with Gérard. I think it really was about developing our own femininity, kind of finding the extension of ourselves in that, so that it wouldn't be just from outside, but our drag persona would be ours. It wouldn't be something imposed upon us. And so the physical work started quite early. I think like 7 months before we started shooting, very punctually. And then it was script work, really kind of working on it 2 months before we started shooting. Felix, Sophie, and I kind of taming the script and the story. And then it was all the collaborators. It was the makeup, the hair, and the costume that kind of created the personas, and then we just had to do it. I don't know.
I mean, if we can go down the line and just discuss prep for everyone, because it's obviously, there was work involved for all of you, even if it's just learning how to be a convincing seamstress, that's still part of this world, right? Like, it's all part of it. Oh, I'm sorry. The echo? Your process, how did you find your character?
So Gerard helped me too, you know. But the thing is that, like, as my character has a really particular psychological profile, we had to find a way to put that into his drag too, you know. So it has this kind of really bellicose way of dancing and watching and stuff that is not totally from me.
sorry, to avoid the echo, does playing that role, I mean, was it easier to be mean once you started doing that? Because we see it, the film shows us the gaslighting before he figures it out. We're ahead of that character in that way, which I find fascinating, because you're projecting this sort of arrogant control. And once you do it physically, does it help?
You know, it's people who make people suffer, they suffer the most. It's just that they can't talk about it. So I won't say it. Yeah, it's hard to break his heart, for sure. I feel bad about it, but it was a character, so someone had to do it, right?
And your work, your scene work, your sort of scene to scene, the essential reality of your character. How did you build it and make it cinematic, I suppose? Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm going down the line.
Oh,
Please, yeah. Sorry, I couldn't tell. You looked like you were looking at me.
The echo is, it's true that the echo is like weird. Can you repeat that?
Sure. Your character, you're in almost every shot. You're in the background constantly, and sort of like the conscience of the film almost.
Yeah.
How do you play that? I mean, without stealing scenes, you're just taking things in moments.
That's a good question, yo. Well, it's crazy because like Edouard, he's constantly there, like in the shadows, you know, but almost like Batman, I like to think. But constantly in the shadows and constantly, you know, spoken about or in people's thoughts. And it was interesting to do that because like obviously I didn't want to portray like a sort of a villain, and I had to find like the reason why he was doing the things that he was doing, and we had a lot of conversation with Sophie about that, and also I had to bring my own humanity and my own experience as a person, as a queer person and a Black person, and a lot of the time in, you know, white spaces, we don't have that space. So I think for Edouard, it was about taking his space and also finding love wherever he could get it. Because, again, as a Black queer person, sometimes it's hard to find that. So, yeah.
Again, this is all intentional. This is the world that you've built, and it's wonderful. And I'm sorry, I just keep going down person to person. Tell me more, but that is my job. Your character has to disappear based on the structure of the script. She has to be absent for almost the second half of the film, and we have to miss her, even though he doesn't. So was that a way of just like the way you pop in the first half of the film? Is that deliberate to make sure we missed her, or?
It was mostly to isolate our character and le dépouiller de ses alliés, je sais pas.
Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît.
Le dépouiller de ses alliés, qu'il n'y ait plus de gens qui prennent soin de lui.
Pushing people away.
Yeah.
Like,
Pushing people who, like, his... les gens qui sont proches de lui, puis qui l'aident, puis qui sont vraiment ses alliés.
To isolate him?
Huh?
People who are very close to him.
We're going to find it at some point.
Oh my God.
No, but to be basically to isolate himself from his core people.
Yeah. And so Olivier really he saw that his sister was there for him, and he really did everything to not push her away, but push him away of her. And so yeah, we had to miss her. And Simon is lucky because sometimes people in that kind of relationship don't find their allies back after that kind of process. Yeah. So, but his sister is still
they
there.
stick together because Maud decided to not have a relationship with her mother. She has a relationship with her father, but you know, it's not. And so she really just has Simon, and there's so much love, and it's a pillar for her, for him. And so when she sees him fly away, ou comme dériver, distance himself, it's heartbreaking. And I think maybe that's what you felt. You miss Maud because it's heartbreaking seeing someone you love, you like, getting hurt, and keep getting hurt. Wow, my English is so...
No, it's...
And to continue along, the world of the film, it's a silly way to phrase it, but the world of the film is so much richer to have the two of you in it. As the Greek chorus is sort of a background, always seeing, again, similar to Edouard, always watching, always aware, and seeing a train wreck coming, and being as sympathetic as possible right up until you have to, again, just cut free. So again, the vivid little portrayals that just build the world out and make it believable. Did you ever figure out the high heels thing? Did you ever figure out the high heel thing? Because I couldn't.
I still can't today. I can't. Like, we knew that Denise would not have any like dancing number or anything or lip syncs. Not because I'm not good on heels, because I'm an amazing dancer. But thanks.
It's true.
Please don't.
No, feel the love. Sorry.
Stand
But
queen.
we had to figure out something about Guillaume and Denise. Like, what's her role in that story? Like, she sees everything. She doesn't take any sides. She's just like, they're all my friends. They're my family. I just want them to be together and to love each other. I think that's what I was trying to do with that character, and we talked a lot about it. Like, what do we do with her? So, yeah. I think she's the funny one. Like, I don't want to be like a brag or anything, but
In the script, sorry, Tommy, mais in the script, there were actually bunches of text, like just saying Tommy ad lib.
yeah.
It was almost all improv. Yeah.
We had some times.
Ben, je rien envers à Sophie. But he was like pumping the crowd up.
Stop saying anything. I need to be credited on that film as a writer. And scene.
But it works in the moment, it works in the film. It's just, yeah, when did we see this? Back in April, I think, we saw a cut of it, and we were just like, oh, this is so much more than the pitch line. There's a world inside of this. I keep coming back to the world building because it is so enthralling, and at this scale in this room, I mean, it must have played. So I will throw to the crowd and see if anyone has a response for it. Oh, hand right there. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I did. I blew right past you.
There was just something which was very important to me in the process of this film. And I've known I was gay when I was, I think, 5 and a half. I used to envy, when I saw a couple walking on the street, I used to envy the woman who, her boyfriend had his arm like this, and I used to say, she's so lucky. But then with time, other things appear, and that you discover that we're many people. We're very complex, and we do this, we're in this profession because too many people are inside and want to speak out. So when I had the immense chance of auditioning for Sophie, the audition took an hour and a half, and we did the two scenes many times and discussed. To have the also extraordinary chance to play this wonderful actor's
Drag mother.
drag mom, and to work with this wonderful company of actors, and to realize that in this process, I was also becoming a queer actor. There are many things which happen because, thanks to Sophie, and which enabled me, I hope, to also feel that the older generation feels that we are alive and young and surviving. It's not a question so much of age, but not on the decline, that we go on, we are militant in a way, to transmit this, that we are free and unique and need to speak out, and so from generation to generation.
Yeah, you can applaud again. I would.
Wow.
Thank you, and I'm so sorry I skipped past you because that was so worth it. We have so many films in the festival this year that are about exactly this, mentorship, elders, and younger people connecting. There's a documentary called Summer Camp, spelled with a Q. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but if you haven't, please do. It's remarkable. And I just got the wrap-up sign, so the one person I promised a question to, please ask your question. Belt it, I'll repeat it.
Belt it.
Oui?
Yes.
Okay, you repeat it.
Oui.
I'm gonna translate the question and then I'm gonna answer in English.
I can do the question.
Don't let the French one.
So, the film, amazing, and the characters, fascinating, full of emotions. But whereas with Simon, the emotions were very clear, what fascinated me was Ollie's attitude. What's the story? Why the arrogance?
So, what I will say is that the movie is about Simon, and to try to find out something that is not inside the movie. I mean, if you have a producer and stuff, we can talk about making something out of this. But for the part that is not in the movie, I can't talk about it because the movie itself. And that's the story. The story of someone who's maybe suffering and he doesn't even know he's suffering. So who will I be to answer that question as this fantasy that is a character doesn't know himself? So I can't answer that. I would say, didn't you have had enough in the movie? I mean, I was on my chair like this all the time, and I say it twice. But I understand. Yeah, it's mysterious. That's how toxic relationship work. It's quite dark. It's mysterious. If we knew, we'll find out solutions.
I will also say that a well-written script and a well-acted part leaves us wanting more about that person. So good on you. And on you. And I'm afraid I must also leave everyone wanting more. See how I did that? So please, give it up one more time.
Merci.